Hello there.
Hello.
You're in a different place today.
It's terrible.
Huh?
It's terrible weather. It's terrible weather here. I'm sitting outside in a nice restaurant because the weather is so terrible.
It does seem like a very nice place. No, the terrace.
Yeah,
Come on.
it is.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
One second. I got this already. This is the affogato with ice cream, but I'll find a use for it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll order some espresso later, but I'll leave it there. That's fine. Thank you. Sorry.
All right.
Let me show you the problem. I got too much vanilla ice cream.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
So it's really suffering. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to come over and get it. Let me just make sure Dino can join us.
Okay. He doesn't normally join us on Mondays, right?
No, he doesn't. It was just the way he said hi to you, so I thought
I think that was
we'd
because
see.
of
Now I'm.
my message on Friday.
Yeah, I just want to show you what I'm doing because I said I'd send stuff yesterday and I didn't. Can you see my screen?
Now I can, yes.
Right. So all I'm doing, all I wanted to highlight to you is I'm trying to do in the first round this. So there is. Let's not discuss all of it because I know we agree, but just the format because I will also put it in your format later. So. Yeah, actually, where's Dino? So he doesn't come in the middle and get confused. Also, yeah, for the future of text, we need to talk about that a little bit too, of course.
Yes.
We already have quite a good speaker roster.
Diminished by your inclusion of me.
Yes, absolutely. You do ruin. You lower the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Right. Okay. So here we are on this thing. So script, recording the sessions, and first session after lunch. That's the two chapters, right? Because the first thing should be done without the audience knowing. The second thing is what we're going to show.
Yeah.
So the system records all presentations. That's the action. It's mission critical, and please tell me if you want me to change things. I'm very happy to.
Mm-hmm.
Mission critical, the time code must be in real time, not only document time. Anything else that's mission critical at that stage?
Yes, it must be real time, not batch mode post processing.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to make this a list here. That's an annoying bug. Okay, so I haven't fixed that. Fine. I'm not going to do that yet. No, I would say that's a good, better, best thing. Don't you agree? That's what I have here. I think.
Could be, but it's so crucial about how you use it.
Okay.
See, your use of it then is always, after the fact. The key difference is I'm trying to use it during the meeting, but you're the product owner, so you should drive this.
Oh, can you paste that link into the Amigos? He can't see it in the massive.
All right, hang on one second. He is a member of the others, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's just early in the morning for him.
Something like that. You can't hear me yet.
No, he can. Hi, Dino. We're just going through some very basic things here to start off. Actually, let's just pause that for a section. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we can just chat. Dino, you're there, right? Very good. I'm outside today, so it's a bit very different for me. Right. Why don't we talk a little bit about future of text first? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Dino, do you think you can make it 25th of August?
In theory, yes, but I don't know about money-wise because I have quite an amazing number of trips scheduled at this point. Of course,
right. Yeah, I mean, we would like to. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, of course, I would love to come, if at all possible.
Right. Okay, yeah, we would like to have sponsors, but if we found it really hard last time, but by the way, if you don't mind, if both of you could just go to thefutureoftext.org.
And before we go there, I just want to respond to Dino's observation about the money. Is that, Dino, it's still my intent, don't know if I can pull it off, have PFTF 2016 on December 9th.
Yeah, it's very important that we try to keep both things going. And we will, of course, I will, of course, try to join you for that as well. Oh, I can't hear you now. I can see you, but I can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay, so now I'm at the futureoftext.org. I see the announcement.
Yeah, just so this is the this is the beginning of the site, the way it is now. Sam, you're listed as an organizer. I don't know if you want to be listed as an organizer.
Sure, that's not a problem. I mean, most of the stuff can be done remotely, and then I can come down to the Bay Area once or twice.
Oh yeah, you're going to be living far away by then.
Hopefully, yes.
Sam, you are in Seattle right now, right?
Physically, at this moment, yes.
But where are you spiritually?
In Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. In spirit, I'm on the 8th continent.
Yes.
I'm now a citizen of the 8th continent.
We need some serious sponsoring for all of the above. Things are really taking off, and yes, we need some travel money and possibly some other kinds of money too.
Yes, it would be good. I mean, now we have, as you can see, we have quite a good amount of speakers already, and I'm hoping that they will help us. Now that Robert Scoble has been there, he was a bit confusing last year, but now that he's been there, I'm going to ask him closer to the time to help announce it as well, so we have more options for more interested people to attend.
If we want to. I mean, if he blasted, we could potentially get too many people, right?
Absolutely, but I think we would have to make it really underselling, really clear that if you love text, come. If not, just don't show up. So
Right.
It doesn't highlight the people so much.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So this document. Yeah, let's spend a minute on that. Is that okay, or what else should we do now? Considering this is basically the MOAD.
So,
talk.
hang on one second. Are you still planning a single day?
I don't know yet. That's one of the things we have to discuss.
Okay. And same format, 10 minutes talk, 10 minutes conversation?
I hope it'll be 15 minutes talk. Depends on how many people there are. It's usually 15 and 5. So it's 20 minutes per person. We had to cut down last year.
20 minutes per person and let people decide whether they want to talk for 10 minutes or, converse for 10 minutes.
Okay, well, we'll think about the format. So far, very rarely does it go over 5 minutes dialogue. However, even though we may not have any money this year, the dinner on that evening and the dinner the night before will be very, very important networking events. And I would like to do a second day, but we would have to decide what it is. Is it MOAD? Is it text? Or is it saving the world? Or, we have to make that clear. Because last year, obviously, that was a bit fuzzy because Pavel couldn't make it.
Okay, so my preference on that is we've already started the MOAD. It would be very, very odd for us before 2018 to discontinue the MOAD So to me, no matter what you include, it seems like the MOAD must be there.
Okay, so what we will do then is write this script and make the presentation of that for the second day. So that means that in the morning, on the second day, we will do the walkthrough of the time browser.
Or you could still be recording the talks on the first day.
Yeah, absolutely. So we record all the talks.
Yes.
But then we don't talk about it on that day at all.
That's right.
Right, so that,
and you could even lead the second day with exactly that demo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about, because then we can keep the first day text.
Although I'm going to make you a bet right now, Frode. I'm going to make you a $100 bet. I'm going to bet that if the demo is there, and that is a strong condition, if the demo is there, you will not be able to refrain from showing the demo the night of the first day.
Oh, absolutely. You can wire through PayPal right now, because one of the things that I want to do that is very strong in my mind is day one should be about text, text, and text only. Right? We have problems keeping people within the text arena, and for the panelists this year, I'm going to really request: don't talk about saving the world, don't talk about information in general. Please try to find at least a core that is about the written word. So that means that the second day in the morning, it becomes a little bit about the time browser, but for the rest of the day, then it becomes what else can we do for MOAD50?
Yeah, I think that's a good format, because time browser should not monopolize the second day.
Absolutely not. It should be a strand, and if it's clear that time browser can be a fundament for other things, then it can be a really exciting day to find out what else can we do? Yeah.
Okay, so if that is the format, then I potentially could over-monopolize the second day, because I could spend 10 minutes at least on each of 6 different topics, possibly 8 for MOAD in 2018. That's how many I would love to throw into the mix. We're on that diagram that I shared before. So I think there's at least that many that I could myself personally talk about.
Okay.
And then Dino's got at least polyscopy that will throw in there. Alexander or his proxy could certainly throw in something about the ELC. So there's at least 10 talks right there.
Yeah, right. It asks content. Are you typing, Sam?
I think that's Dino.
Oh, okay. As contenders for MOAD50, yes, but not general talk, right?
No, not the general talk. It's contenders for MOAD50.
Right, exactly. Right. What are your thoughts on all this, Dino?
Okay,
You're muted, by the way.
No, I'm unmuted now. So I have a few thingies. I would love to participate in both MOAD50 2016 and the future of text. I have a couple of thoughts, ideas. Polyscopy platform or polyscopy interaction design is turning into a future of text project. Frederick and I, we have submitted an abstract to a place whose link I'm sharing here. It's called Systemic Design. It's Peter Jones, who will be in Colorado, by the way. Peter Jones is developing something which is closely similar to systemic innovation. It's called systemic design. We're not quite sure if there is even a difference. And so there is a series of systemic design conferences. If the abstract is accepted, Frederick will be going there, saying basically, talking about the polyscopy interaction design as the kind of set of tools that can enable us to create text, that can lift up an insight, right? That can allow us to develop not flat text, but text that is a mountain, that can allow the creation of insights. So there is this whole bag of tools. And I think this could be an interesting theme for the future of text. If we say that one of the things that the text in the future will be able to do is assemble lots of insights across the board, across disciplines, across interests, and then weave them together into a big picture view. And so let me pause here. This is one of the thoughts that I was having.
So you're proposing a theme for a specific use of text.
Exactly. The thing is that this is technically developed, or will be by then, right? Lots of very concrete ideas. So it could be interesting to discuss exactly in that setting.
I'm just going to have to move around. It's a bit bright here. Sorry.
In fact, to be honest,
I can hear you.
I'm saying, to be honest, it would even feel awkward to not discuss this in the future of text setting, because I think this is quite significant, this whole issue of flat information and creating text, which is polyscopic in the sense that it enables us to distinguish what is small and what is big, and then aim at creating really these big overarching views.
So that's a key part of polyscopy then, the big and small.
Exactly.
Sam?
I was wondering whether you thought that was a feature of text topic and also a MOAD50 topic.
I think it is MOAD50 topic, but there might be still other exciting MOAD50 topics. I'm going to mention one. So this is surely it's a MOAD50 topic, but I have another one in mind which I want to report here when you give me a window opportunity.
Isn't this the window?
Yeah, please
Surely,
go ahead.
sure. No, yeah, I don't want to put so many themes on the table. But the other thing that I have in mind is this development, which you gentlemen are not aware of because you haven't been part of this stream. But right now there is a kind of a flurry of activity in the Global Education Futures Forum, GEF, which is turning into a movement. It's turning into a community. There are these ambitious Russian guys. So the last thing I answered was they were asking a question. This is in parentheses. I'll come back to the real thing. The question was, do you guys have something kind of something like a dictionary that federates words because everybody has their own definition? And I said, well, I know that Sam has a tentative version with about 200 words, but without the corresponding technology, and I know that in his mind and in my mind, the technology that enables the federation of concepts is high on the list. And so I sent this, and yeah, I'm saying this because suddenly the tone is becoming the pitch is rising. But okay, so back to the main issue. If you give me a minute. Main issue here is that the community is self-organizing as a nick of nicks. And so this is a really, really interesting way to continue Doug's work. Because as you know, evolutionary learning labs and Well-Tribe and all that, it's really the same thing. So we have a concept that is hugely needed, that is very much now integrated in both the community life and the life of let's make the world work for all agenda, which is purely Engelbartian. Nick of nicks just couldn't be more Engelbartian than it is. Pause. So there is a build-up toward creating an infrastructure for the nick of nicks, which is really what I think this whole movement will be about. And, yeah.
Okay, so I have two thoughts in reaction to that. One is this product, could you possibly mute when you're not speaking? Because there's a lot of background noise.
Of course there is. I didn't think about that.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so first point is that when you talk about this community turning into the nick of nicks, as we've seen, even communities of very well-intentioned, very strategic, very forward-thinking people have an issue in forming something like a nick of nicks, because it's taken us, for example, 2+, maybe 3 years to get to something which is not yet even a nick of nicks. So I'm proposing, and I hope this doesn't sound too arrogant or self-centered, but there's this community plus an understanding, and let me call that collaborology for now, that can then potentially turn it into a nick of nicks. So it doesn't just automatically turn into a nick of nicks. And I'd like to at least give you that one single perspective. The second is that when you introduced this words tool, or what I call Dictopedia, to this group at Jeff, was there a reaction? Was there an appreciation for the use cases that I'm trying to go after? Over.
I just sent this 15 minutes ago. So there is no appreciation yet, but I'm telling you that the same things that we have been talking about are naturally emerging in that community. So there is confluence, there is magnetism.
Did you at least, did you send the outline or the list of use cases that I'm trying to actually go after using Dictopedia?
I actually didn't have them at my fingertips, but please give me a link and I'll share it.
Okay, I'll send you a link. What about the first question, this issue of communities and whether or not they form nicks of nicks, you know, without some sort of a structure or some kind of a framework?
No, my sense is that this nick of nicks infrastructure will be evolving forever. This is really just the beginning, but the beginning is exciting because number one, there is interest. Number two, there is a real community of really able people. So now we don't need to twist anybody's arm to turn them into nick of nicks. People just want it. And then, of course, this goes into the systems community and all that. You know, so we have more than one potential community customer or client for the nick of nicks.
I think it's crucial for us, at least, you know, who have been going since 2012, to realize that the beginning is actually quite extensive. I mean, we started this in late 2012, you know, these kind of conversations. So yes, it is still the beginning, but it's actually been quite a non-trivial beginning, shall I say, you know? Anyway, that's my appreciation for, you know, the much that we've gone through.
The model is, I guess, or the situation may be best modeled by the, you know, catastrophe theory. This, for a long time, there is nothing. You're kind of pushing the thing across the table, and then when it reaches the edge, bang! Suddenly it starts happening. And yeah, you know, the pushing is the part, but still the edge is.
Yeah. It's the hopefully it's the overnight success that takes, you know, a few years.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So that's interesting and important. But when it comes to the future of text events, how do you specifically see polyscopy being presented, Dino, and being discussed?
Ideally, someone will stand in front of the audience and discuss it. If this is utterly impossible, I don't know if you have the possibility of people presenting online. That's another possibility. But I would, I mean, I wish with all my heart to be present, especially since I wasn't present last year. So let's see if as I said, I'm way overcommitted with travel and money and things. But at the same time, I'm planning to speak to my people. I'm just writing a blog post, which I hope will move some spirits. I'll be writing another one and then talking with my superiors at the university. And I want to see if something or other will emerge, right? Because ultimately, the money we're talking about is not huge compared to the kind of good things that can come out of it, out of, you know, the whole systemic innovation initiative. But at this point, I don't have any support.
Yeah, that's a pitch issue. Just as an annotation, I give you the link to at least some of the initial thinking of use cases for Dictopedia.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously this is important. I think maybe there should be more space for this on the second day. I mean, the first day, everybody has a slot of either 15 or 20 minutes to talk about many different things. And I'm trying to push for that to be extremely text-centric, which could mean many different things. But sometimes people go on, you know, talking about organizations and changing the world. And if it doesn't have explicitly to do with the written word, then there's so many other forums for it, you know.
If you want to make that part of the structure of the first day, I suggest that we add a bit to the protocol. You know, you have the strict timing with the 10 minutes, or 15 and 5. We added last year the gong. It might be useful to have some kind of visual indicator, either by you or maybe even pass it out to the rest of the audience, where people say, hey, you know, if there's no connection to text, or I can't see the connection to text, maybe I could flag a yellow card, or, you know, you could chime a different chime or something like that. But that would prompt the speaker, if it's not too invasive, to actually make the connection to text, you know, or something less invasive.
That's a really, really difficult one. I mean, Robert Scoble last year didn't talk about text hardly at all. And, you know, he came in on the second day to do a presentation. And I've had a few people who talk about things extremely peripheral, but I will, in the invitation emails after people have accepted, be more strongly suggestive of specific texts.
Okay, how about another more gentle thing, which is suggest people that the format of the talk is first, what's the topic's connection to text? Then have the talk, and then at the end, conclude and redraw that connection again, saying, and this is how it connects to text. You know, if you really want to make sure that people are conscientious about that.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. Definitely. So, okay, so what we'll do is...
System here.
Yeah, no, I think that's very interesting. So I'm just opening the website editing thing now. I'm just going to change the... I'm just going to add that there will be a second day and write something there.
Right. And it will be MOAD50 focused.
Yeah. Hang on, let me just spend a second on that while you entertain yourselves.
Dino, entertain me, please.
Geez, with what? I'm, as I said, writing this blog post, right? And the blog post is about Collabo Science, which is another new kid on the block, which we really need to discuss. It's not only about Collabo Science, but the story I'm telling is, so suppose, you know, so we have the whole collective mind, Doug Engelbart, arena. And then suppose we place into this knowledge federation as institution that is self-organized to enable this type of work. And if we have an enabling technology, which is a Collabo framework by definition. So we're going to be evolving this for a while. At this moment, the brothers are in Colombia, as you might know, in a most interesting showcase application of this thing. Let me put this in parentheses and we can come back to it. I don't want to open too many things at the same time. And so I'm then developing a whole portfolio of small vignettes about what sort of things can develop on the collective mind paradigm with these two things in place, the institution and the tool. And both of them are, of course, evolving, but also I think that both of them might be hugely meaningful on the MOAD50 arena. I know this is cryptic, but let's unpack it as time and energy allow.
Do you think that if asked, the brothers would actually say this is a text-based thing and have that particular perspective to bring to the second day?
Of course, of course. I mean, most of it is something like debate graph, right? But it's more also because, I mean, the main thing about Collabo framework is that it is supposed to be the following kind of thing. There is a model of knowledge, which is at this point something like IBIS, okay? And then on top of this, you make some kind of apps, which are kind of like plug-in things, also very Engelbartian because they are interoperable, right? So you can create processes out of these apps. And then I'm metaphorically depicting the situation as if you have a group of people around the table. You have a bunch of Lego blocks on the table, and the Lego blocks are allowing the people to interconnect into any kind of systemic structure for knowledge work that you can imagine. So this is, obviously about creating. So with both text of some kind is inside. It's hypertext. It's something, but it is that. You can solicit people to co-create things. You can invite them. Okay, so do you know how to resolve this? The system can find people that might be able to answer a question, and so on and so forth. So, and the most important thing here is that Collabo framework is for us a sandbox, because we are sitting around it and we are creating new apps, recreating these things, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the things that are coming to Dubrovnik also, which we'll put in front of us and play with.
What are the dates for Dubrovnik?
I think it's
24th of September, right?
Yeah.
24th of September through the, what, 1st or 2nd of October?
2nd of October, right. And so, and the Greek camp is scheduled right after Dubrovnik. So these people will be probably coming. The Russians will be coming. I'm planning an email to the Knowledge to the Knowledge Federation people saying the Russians are coming, to excite them a little bit.
So Dino, I think I had asked last time we spoke, I had asked whether or not you had a list or a bio, or at least even a list of names with titles and associations, institutions of the people that you refer to as the Russians. Can we possibly understand who they are?
To really understand what they are, you would need to be there, basically, because mostly you can sense the energy. I don't know what is significant about them is that they are, in quotes, smart enough to get.
No. I'm not concerned about them. I just want to find out more about them. So you at least have the names, right?
I saw the list of names, but I don't have anything. I don't have, at this point, I don't know if it exists. But listen, the first thing I'm going to do after we finish, I'm going to connect you with this guy, Ivan, who is a junior there, but hugely active in putting this community together.
Okay.
And then I will just use your link and say, okay, so here is what Sam gave me, and and by the way, here is Sam. And I think you should be included in, I mean, this is still, as I understand it, a kind of a closed group, right? It's the people who met in Prague who really feel like, oh, we want to work together. But I think I'll just, connect you. Frude, if you want to be connected, I can invite you to into this thing. But at least some from the Amigos should basically be, I think, in the story in this early stage, because they're already talking about all these technologies that you have been talking about since the beginning of time.
Okay, then
I don't think you should be talking through me.
Then one more point, just on logistics. Are you inviting them to August 25th, or are you inviting them to December 9th, or both?
No, at this stage, at this stage, I'm inviting them to
Dubrovnik, September 24th. Okay.
Right, and that's good enough. But through this conversation, we can invite them into all kinds of things. There is, by the way, an online conversation tomorrow by afternoon sometime, with this whole group.
Tomorrow afternoon, if it makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't make sense, then don't worry about it. that might be an opportunity for me to start getting to know them.
Right, of course. So what I'm going to do right away is connect you with Ivan, and then you can take it up with him. I think that's the
Okay. All right. Okay.
He is coordinating this.
Yeah, so right, there is a lot of travel because there's the last week in July, which is ISSS. There's the last week of August, which is Future of Text. There's the last week of September, which is Dubrovnik. And then there's the second week of December, which is PFTF. And that's four things already the rest of this year.
It is an insane amount of travel.
Even for me.
Yeah.
Going about less than 1,000 miles. Okay.
For Dubrovnik, if we can make it, and obviously I hope I can, when should we arrive? So we are, I guess, they're ahead of the activities.
No, Saturday, as always, right? The arrival is Saturday. Sunday we begin with walking around Dubrovnik, talking and so on. But I feel that this little bit of detoxification, right? That we're not just flying in Monday and starting to talk. I think it's hugely important. So Saturday is the arrival day. As always. Ideally, we would be leaving Sunday after Sunday. I have reserved Villa Doda for Wednesday to Sunday because...
and then leaving when?
Leaving Sunday. Sunday, October 2nd. Although the Russians might be leaving before. I actually might have to also go to Cyprus and participate in this camp thing. That's...
So I just put that list of events in the chat script. Is that correct? Oh, wait, I forgot one. Hang on one second.
For me, there is also the beginning of the Systemic Innovation PhD program in June. I'm flying to Argentina.
Okay, well,
that's my
I'm
next
talking about, group events where we're all getting together, potentially.
Right. Well, this is a bit that because it's, I guess, Alexander and myself, but potentially this is hugely significant for our overall development because this is the first Systemic Innovation PhD program, which actually the group is hosting.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we talk? All right. We have.
Let me mention one more thing, actually, to entertain Sam. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I have an unused sabbatical. And I'm thinking to link the sabbatical with the MOAD50 and to essentially pull some strings and come to the Bay Area and be there for a year, starting August, September, October, 2017. Meaning in a year and a little bit. And so that's the current plan. And I'm building up my story toward that, right? Because I feel this is part of the reason why I'm writing this blog concretely, right? And blog post.
That's actually an opportunity, Dino. Now, if you can get over the fact that I left the last meeting rather abruptly, and we are still talking, then is that an opportunity for me to start working with you if there's any kind of a PhD opportunity?
But by all means, the opportunities may arise before also, but I'm hoping that by then our case for systemic innovation, right, we will have very interesting technical things to show, and the spotlight will be right there because of Doug and so on and so forth, right?
Okay.
And my sense is that we need to start preparing for that game now, and actually start playing it very soon. But you see what I'm telling you?
That's what we've been trying to do, right?
Right.
Hey, I know that there are more potential collaborators in the Bay Area, but let's say if you're here for a year, then for a month or whatever, maybe even a couple weeks at a time, come up to Seattle and just stay with me. And we can have very intense sessions.
Of course.
Okay.
But you have to know that you're leaving the meeting abruptly doesn't mean a thing. I guess you know that. I just have to.
It means something, but it's not debilitating. I'll take it that way.
No. I mean, it doesn't mean a thing in the sense of my own, whatever, being upset or this and that and the other. That
I'm here to test you, Lino. I'm here to push your buttons.
Yeah, likewise. So that's what the amigos are for, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's actually another fascinating conversation. Okay. Frode, you want to transition? You're on mute, Frode.
Please just quickly reload this page and see if day 2 looks good, as in what I've written on page 1 about day 2.
Okay, let's see. Second day, day 1. You launch into day 2. You don't have a day 1 title. I would suggest you say Future Tech Symposium or parenthesis or hyphen day 1. That way, day 2 will not appear strangely separate.
I will make it a little different. You're right. Yep.
Okay. On the second day, we'll work with teams to invent and build a demo. It would be useful to refer to this starting either in 2013 or 2015 because, there were at least seminal, if not momentous, attempts to try and do this.
I'll make those changes now.
Thank you. Okay, I like the linked time browser. That's good. In fact, if we want to surprise people, Frode, I would leave out.
I got to take this call. 1 second. Hello?
So where are those links?
It's on thefutureoftext.org.
Oh, okay. I have that open.
So that was my doctor chasing me for things. That's very cool.
Okay, can I continue with my comment? Frode?
Let me just write down what you said already. Just please, just hold your thoughts for just a few seconds.
Sam, would you like to entertain me while we are waiting? Tell me what's going on.
Okay, I was just trying to put the future of text in my calendar, but I can do that later.
You can feel free to say the next bit now. I've added that.
Okay, so did you catch the part where I said on day 2, that very last sentence, I recommend you strike that very last sentence to maximize the surprise impact of the demo.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, good idea.
And then second part of that is, since we have all of these program video transcripts and slides from 2011 all the way up to 2015, if we actually do have a good time browser, we could actually apply it across all of those, or as many of those as we can possibly prepare. And that way, there's a large corpus of material that we could then offer to people on the second day. And then third, very, very minor comment is you have a very nice black and gold logo that you're using, but you have a black and white different logo on this page. I suggest you standardize on one. And then fourth thought is on the right, these words.
Hang on, one step at a time. The logos are doing kind of two different jobs. Yeah, what's the last one?
And the last one is on the words from previous year's panelists. You might want to see if you can get my name on there with some kind of a quote.
You need to write one then, you know.
Well, I wasn't asked to write one.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the organizers, so please do write one.
And if you're including organizers, you might want to include Haria.
No. Because she's not a speaker. It's only by the panelists. You're both the panelist and a speaker.
All right.
She's working to get us a venue at both Stanford and SRI. So
I understand. Yeah, she and I talk fairly regularly.
Yeah. So we'll see what she can actually come up with. I need to know what's been decided by this weekend, so we can put things together. If not, we're going to go Valerie's place in the East Bay, which I don't think will be bad. The only reason I want Stanford is the students, so they have access.
Okay. By the way, a very minor comment in the interest of collaborology. As I was going through the 1, 2, 3, 4 items, giving you feedback on this page, rather than executing them in real time, collaborology might suggest that there's a way to actually record them and then execute them separately. But it's all subject to human practice and coevolution as well. Over.
I thought there were kind of obvious things to change, so didn't need much procedure.
Okay, so sorry, I went for quite a while to go through those 4 ideas. Dino, did you want to react to the website?
No, it looks good. I don't have any comments.
I'm trying to make those changes and upload them, but for some reason it's really slow at the moment. We'll turn off the video and see if that helps.
Do you want me to
send it? Okay, yeah, so go ahead. You are welcome to come up with the scene.
Well, as you know, I'm in Seattle.
Actually, just for a minute, could you guys turn up your video as well, please? So I'm not downloading that while it's trying.
All right.
Thank you. It's not that you're not pretty or anything.
It is the case that I'm not pretty or anything. Okay, so anyway, Dino, I've been up in Seattle since about Friday, and this is all very, very short notice because on Thursday, I think I have indicated that my boss and I have made an arrangement where I could actually work from Seattle. And so since my current lease is up on the 19th of May, I wanted to do this as quickly as possible. So I visited approximately 9 or 10 places on Friday and Saturday, found 3 that I really, really like, and made an application to one yesterday. and I may hear about it, or at least a positive indication or a negative indication by end of day today. And the reason I'm interested is, of course, if the first one falls through, I have to, apply to the second one and then sequentially the third one. Because of the nature of this activity, I can't do them in parallel. But anyway, if I manage to get one of these places, then I would be very, very happy and very, very enthusiastic to have little mini get-togethers with as many of you as possible to come and have a retreat up here in the Seattle area.
Sounds great. I'm ready. To me, it sounds like, let me say this, right? This is completely in context, I feel. The event in Prague had quite a profound impact on me somehow. It was really like coming home. It was like the world becoming normal. And the experience was of a significant group of people, all of them really getting it, right? All of them being committed, dedicated, and so on to the cause of systemic innovation, or whatever you want to call it. The reason why I say this is because my sense is that the whole dynamic of our situation might change quite radically in a year or two. And then we'll be traveling, doing projects. We'll forget our past. It was just so long.
Never forget the past.
Yeah, in the sense of living in the present, which when I say forget the past, I mean, all this chronic misunderstanding or non-understanding of what needs to happen. So my point is that my sense is that there is a big and growing magnet now wanting to draw Sam into a kind of a situation where Sam is no longer working on these unbelievable things in his free time, if it exists at all. He's kind of creating his free time, but that happens to be late at night or something.
Dino, I am so happy to hear that, because if you're getting more and more magnetic, I'm getting more and more metallic. I want to be drawn.
Perfect. Couldn't be better. No, things are happening. They just need time. And if you're a little bit quicker, or if we are a little bit quicker, then we tend to get impatient or lose trust or something or other. But surely things are, after all, obvious.
So that's all very nice. We have just a few minutes left. I couldn't upload. I'll have to do that later. I don't know what's going on. But may I suggest for the rest of the week that on Thursday, on Dino Day, we do that Dino style without technology discussion. Wednesday, we do collaborology as Sam wants to do it. And tomorrow, we work on the time browser based on documents I'll send out today.
I support those proposals.
I have to say that tomorrow is my last day with Mama. Wednesday, I'm traveling. I'll be in the air when maybe I'll be at home. I'm not sure. But so if I'm at home, I'll turn on my Skype and things, and I'll join the call the same day. But if I'm not there, then you will understand that I'm still traveling. And Thursday, I'll be there. And the no technology, this is not no technology, it's basically the co-evolution thingy, which we can
But Dino, let's not do this thing again, because we spent so many months on that dance. Because if Sam or I mention a technology, you say, no, it has to be co-evolution. And you must have both for that. You and I had a long chat last week about that. Right? It just doesn't work. If there's any technology you want to bring up that you think is useful in polyscopy, that's great. But I don't want to waste half an hour to an hour on co-evolution where you don't want co-evolution, you only want the human side. Because you always, every time, without any exception, say that you don't want the technology bit.
Not that he doesn't want it, but that we're not ready for it, is what I hear.
There is a significant amount of misunderstanding, and I don't want to pick it up now, 2 minutes, or maybe we should pick it up now because it's exactly 2 minutes before. But long story short, what I'm suggesting is that, one, we get jointly excited about the situations where systems are about to change. And number two, we do, exactly the Engelbartian things. There are two ways to do it, or two sides. One is we look at the whole system and we see how it wants to change. And two, we look at the technology and see how it can enable the change, and then we try to merge the two. So there is some kind of praxis that we need to have in our fingertips, which is not usual, right? And that is how to combine the tool system and the human system into a kind of a joint venture, joint co-change. And that's just it. I feel that there is some kind of co-evolution that needs to happen with us before we are able to tackle these kind of tasks or even get jointly excited about them.
On that, I agree.
I know that we're getting there. I know we're getting there. So,
yeah, but you see, I don't agree with that because I don't think that's Engelbartian at all. If we look at Doug's evolution, in 1951, it was, when he had his whole depressing, what am I going to do with my life thing? And then he decided he wants to help us solve urgent complex problems. That was it. He didn't sit down and create complicated systems. He did co-evolution because after that, he spent half an hour to invent our entire technological system. He invented word processing, email, outlining, everything was done in half an hour. It took him 13, 14 years or so to actually implement it for 1962. Right? But let's not kid ourselves. I do not believe that you can invent technology to solve the social system if you don't do actual co-evolution. I agree with your words, Dino, fully agree with your words. But it just keeps coming up that, and I love you both, you and Alexander, but the system. Yeah, great, but we never get to the tool. And what are we doing right now? We're using a tool in order to even have this discussion.
Let's not get excited. Let's really be calm and have a real dialogue, right? Real dialogue is.
I hear real dialogue. What I'm hearing is that the Engelbartian notion of bootstrapping isn't yet fully embraced in our practices. We need to get better about bootstrapping this.
But how is this not real dialogue? I'm telling you what Doug told me.
This is real dialogue.
Right? I think, yes, I do think it's real dialogue. And, I agree with your principles, Dino. I just think that you, for various reasons, shrug away from the tech bit. And I'm saying, I agree with your words. We must combine them. I just don't see it happening.
Listen, if I were shrugging away from the tech bit, I wouldn't be exactly talking with you right now and about these things. If you read our paper in the making for the ISSS community, it is saying we are bringing you exactly the tech bit. So without the whole thing is obviously lame, right? And obviously, what am I doing there? I don't care about being one of the system scientists. I want exactly to bring the tech bit.
Okay, well, that's very, very useful then. But as kind of a lightning rod for our next discussions, could you outline a little bit the kind of technology that you want to see us working on?
Yeah, of course. Look, there is a catch, right? And let's, in the remaining -2 minutes, just put this catch in front of us on the table, and then maybe we can look at it until Thursday or something. And the catch is essentially this. If we now sit down and do the technology, we need financing, we need time, we need blah, 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 all kinds of thresholds and hurdles. If, however, we can get some people out there really excited about the prospects of changing some of the basic human systems and say, look, we need this kind of technology to do that. But here's the vision. We have a chance of pulling in some of the really powerful, smart, proactive, big players. And this is where I want us to be. So it's a value proposition which is saying not let's scratch but it's saying let's play on the whole field because that's power.
Right. Okay. So my problem with that is in the middle of that, you have a sentence, we need some kind of technology to do that. I once saw a cartoon, a joke cartoon of a scientist on a black. No, Gino, I'm being
Listen,
loving.
don't pick on me like that. I'm saying.
Gino, I'm having a real dialogue here. I'm being respectful. We must be allowed to disagree. Don't throw your hands in the air. Please, let me.
Don't disagree. Don't disagree by misinterpreting me. I'm not saying some kind of technology.
No, but hang on, Dino. Dino, it is what it comes down to, right? Because that's look. No, wait. You made Dino, you made some assertions in the beginning of what you said. You said that it means we must have money and so on. Not necessarily true. What we need to do is write down a kind of specification for what we want built. Once we have that, it's like we need to build a system that does this, that, and the other, and technically that means so and so. Then we have something we can actually ask money for. It needs to get a bit more specific. That's the only thing that I'm arguing for. And when it comes to the right people, I mean, Björn Boru, whom you met, whom you spent the weekend with, tomorrow he's having a meeting with the Norwegian Prime Minister. He's been invited as an individual, not as an organization, to talk about the future of technology in Norway. We have amazing, powerful people in our circle, right? So
we're just not using the opportunities we have because we still don't understand each other, man.
So it is. I really think that we need to have written down specific. We need a technology to do X, Y, Z. The requirements for it are so and so because we need to help it do blah blah blah, right? We need to start doing that. So please don't think I'm fighting you here. I'm not at all fighting you. I just think that we have more opportunity to specify technology than you seem we have. Sorry, seem to think we have.
No, look, the collabo science is that kind of technology. We have a prototype, right? It's still very rough and things. But that's the kind of technology that fits perfectly into the story, and the number of things that we can do with that technology is just stunning. It's amazing, and I'm writing a blog post about this. It's all part of what I called when I was speaking to you maybe a month or two ago the tsunami strategy. Right, there is a big wave, and all you need to do is basically ride on it. But first of all, we need to see the wave, right? And second, we need to see that we are already part of that wave. We are essentially already right.
What is this collabo science stuff? Is there something we can read about that?
I'm sure there is a lot. I don't know what is the current explanation things. I'm writing this blog post and I'll share it with you, let's say tomorrow, after tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can finish a rough draft of the blog post and you can see basically where these things are going, right? And I'm writing this blog post as I'm writing all my blog posts. Essentially, it's a kind of propaganda, right?
Right. I see Sam saying timeout. Absolutely. I look forward to reading the post.
No, wait. One more comment. The question is, though, when Frode asked you a question, Dino, what would you like us to do in support of Thursday? Okay, because that's the context of the question. You indicate that everything you want to do is already being done in Collabo Science, which is an interesting way to answer the question. No. Dino, listen to this recording later. Listen to this recording later. We're asking how do we, the three of us, talk, and you're thinking, oh, well, Collabo Science is it, and you're already doing everything on Collabo Science. So it's an interesting way to answer the question of how do Frode and I interact with you on Thursday.
Can I just answer the question directly, and then you know what I said?
Yeah.
My basic point is that we have several situations where human system, tool system co-evolution is already happening or wants to happen. I want us to be together in those situations, right? And really be aware of what is happening and then adjust our behavior and our intentions to the situation. One of the situations is the Collabo Science thingy and all that is going through now. The other situation is obviously, the ISSS situation there in Colorado. And both situations are hugely potent because they have the kind of power of a hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, but Dino,
you're doing the same thing again, Dino.
Yes, Dino.
Actually, how do we, interact? And now you're still talking about a whole different set of people and projects.
This is not a different set of people. This is us. You are the co-authors in the article.
Hang on, guys.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Dino, when I asked about what technologies, you talked about Collabo Science, right? what are the tools that are built there? Do they build things for the web, or is it for desktops, or what are the specific tools that they're making?
This is now we are speaking, right? The specific tools is still a mock-up completely, and you can see what it is, right? But the basic idea will be that we create an infrastructure so that we can plug in different tools, and then once we have this good, honest to God beginning, then all kinds of tools can be plugged in. And exactly the question, what kind of tools, is the key question, man. I'm not going to answer it for you. It's really all kinds of tools. That's the answer.
So who are these people, and how can Sam and I start working with them?
But you know the people, they're the Rudin brothers.
Frode doesn't know them as well as other people do, okay? It's Sasha, Denisa, Rudin.
Oh, okay.
You also know, because of the brothers, it is very hard for other people to collaborate with them, because when we get together, they spend about 98% of the time interchanging between themselves. So this is a very interesting collaboration opportunity / challenge, okay?
No, yeah, can I say, I think they have worked hard on changing that kind of dynamic. And now, at least when I talk with them, they really make a conscious effort to include me, which is just amazing. It's an amazing improvement. So things have evolved, you know, but you're totally right.
Okay. I mean, I haven't collaborated with them, and I don't know what they're doing. So what was the word? The requirement or the need that they build an ecosystem, we try to come into it, or would you like to set up a forum where we co-create something like that?
Listen, that's exactly the point. The Collabo Science is not something that in principle the Rudin brothers are creating. They're only initiating this thing. It's something that we all are creating. And if it's not something that we all are creating, then it's a totally fake thing, because it has to be exactly a product of this type of collaboration, right?
Right.
The moment we sit down together and look at the let them come back from Colombia, because now the situation is crazy. But as soon as they come back from Colombia, let's all sit together and basically ask them, okay, so guys, what is this, and how can we be part of it, right? Because that's exactly what needs to happen.
Tomorrow, then either next Tuesday or the following Tuesday, or even one of these Mondays, see if we can get that conversation going.
Excellent. Yeah, exactly. I don't know when they're coming back from Colombia, but I think that they're there until the end of the week. This is just beginning tomorrow or something or other. Tomorrow after tomorrow. They're really still preparing. They're there and they're preparing the technology.
Do you know what kind of technology they're preparing? Do you have any?
No, it's a server. It's a server, and they have something. If you look at their video, they have created a few videos which I can share with you.
Rather than describing it, can you just send some links, Dino?
Yeah, the videos would be great if you send links to them.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me do that in a moment. So I will include this in the Amigos chat then.
And a quick reminder, in the KF/PFTF Google Docs folder, there is a document that lists about 2 or 3 dozen proposed projects. It would be nice to practice collaborology in a sense, or at least indicate some alignment, and gently suggest that, hey, put that Collabo Science project in that list of possible projects.
Give me the link. Do you have the link?
I will send it to you again. I know you do have it, but I will send it to you again.
I know I have it, but I'm still operating in a messy mode. I hope to change that very soon.
Okay, I have to go. You guys exchange links. Dino, please send the Collabo Science things, and have a safe trip. And Sam, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
bye. Okay.
Ciao.
Right. Dino, anything else? Can we drop off and I just send you the link to that document?
Yeah, I'll connect you with Ivan, and I will be sharing the Collabo Science links.
Okay, that'd be great. Okay, thanks.
Ciao, thanks you too.
Okay, bye for now.